So it's been a long time since the last time we took a look at Twomad and the whole very tragic and weird situation that went down with them a few months ago. And just a few hours ago, we got Jameskii, the guy who's been, in the front lines when it comes to exposing Twomad. And a few hours ago, he dropped this huge Google Doc. I read it all. It's around 52 pages. I'm just here to show you guys the more important stuff, because if I sit here and talk about the full document, I'm not even lying, we could be here for like 2 hours. So I'm just here to simplify this as much as I possibly can. The Google Doc will be linked below in case you guys want to take your time to look at it. There's a lot of interesting stuff. This is going to be a long one, so grab your hot Cheetos, grab your G Fuels, and let's just get started. This document delves into a critical analysis of Twomad's crimes, both online and in person, that have been profoundly impacted Twomad's victims' lives. I urge the readers to approach this content with care and empathy. These are people that shouldn't be involved in the first place. You know what I mean? So dragging them, it's not helping anyone. If anything, it just makes Twomad look worse, because that's a fan base he farmed, Anyways, getting back into the article. To begin this document, it should be clear that Twomad owned both airsoft and real firearms. The investigation discovered a real Glock and AR-15 among prop weapons. Twomad's fascination with guns and his drive to push legal and moral boundaries to see what he could get away with was public knowledge. This is a debate that I saw everyone going back and forth on. Were those real guns? Were they airsoft guns? What kind of, were they fake guns? Were they like guns that were broken down? And if you guys remember, a lot of people were like, well, Jameskii, why aren't you hurrying up with the investigation? What's taking you so long to, expose Twomad after you quote unquote celebrated his death? He talks about that in a bit. To make a 54-page Google Doc and gathering all the proof, it takes time. And with a situation like this, number one, you want to be extremely careful, right? You don't want to slander anyone just because you don't like them or you have a personal issue with them. And number two, this is something that should be handled with care. The whole Twomad thing wasn't just black and white, wrong or right. Like, it was all over the place. It wasn't one side is correct and the other isn't. It was more like the lines were so fucking blurred that you don't know what's real and what's fake, what's sarcasm and what isn't. And at that point, I'm wondering, did he do that on purpose? So, the truth gets buried by the sarcasm, or was it really sarcasm? So just something to keep in mind. And I am by no means a Twomad defender, okay? I've seen people dick ride for Twomad on Twitter like I haven't before. Included below are private and public references of him using and being in possession of illegal firearms, as well as references of him trying to dispose of guns. And that says Twomad's public reference for being in possession of someone else's firearms. And there's another video where Twomad says that he's going to put a loaded gun to his head. And I don't know if I could actually play these clips. I'll try. And if they're not here, it's because I don't know how YouTube's gonna like that, or the video's gonna be taken down. You know how YouTube is sometimes. So keep in mind, once again, this document will be linked below in case you guys want to go see the clip. And then it says the Superior Justice Court ordered Twomad to turn in all firearms legally. If Twomad had surrendered his firearms, he'll need to file a document stating that and notify all parties. This would incriminate him since he had them illegally in the first place. Come on, you could get real guns and you got the illegal ones. But then again, who in their right mind would allow Twomad to have a gun? This refusal to surrender them was brought up in court, but the LAPD refused to take his guns despite the court's order. The judge also instructed the authorities to search Twomad's properties, but the LAPD chose not to. And here we have a text message, and I'm guessing this is Twomad, and he says, like, I've done it once, I can do it again, yay, but like, why, LMAO? What I did was demon shit, like, relax. I bought an AR-15 and a Glock during that period, selling it now. I bought it because I was like, let me shoot holes into walls. One of the biggest concerns was that Twomad would take lethal doses of drugs and go out of his way to specific locations in person, as he wouldn't be thinking straight. Suspect, they got Twomad, alias Twomad, or brother Pokemon 333. And like, this shows up in court, and like the judge has to be, so you're Twomad, right? Oh yes, I am Twomad, aka Nibba Pokemon 333. Is that correct? Like, I would be laughing my ass off. I'm sorry. Out loud in court. And it says, no, Twomad changed his profile picture and display name repeatedly to confuse the authorities. We continue. Twomad had been reckless with drugs that make him aggressive and fearless, while making him unable to remember anything that happened while he was in that state, and got taken to the hospital after talking about how he's very likely to put a McSkillet while high. In case you guys don't know, McSkillet was, I remember this situation. McSkillet was a CSGO surf, if I'm not mistaken, YouTuber. He decided to be irresponsible, get into the freeway with his sports car. If I'm not mistaken, he crashed into a van that killed the mom and a brother or a sister. So not only did McSkillet kill himself, and this is something that I always say, if you're gonna do dumb shit, do it, but do it to yourself. Don't involve innocent people who are just getting back from school, back to work. Like this fucking douchebag YouTuber known as McSkillet not only took his pathetic life, but he also took away a daughter's life, a little kid's life, and a mother. Like if you want to kill yourself, kill yourself. You know, go ahead, go crazy, but don't bring other people with you. Like that just pisses me off. And I know we got a little sidetracked. And the fact that Twomad thought about doing something similar, you know, maybe the way he went out was the best way possible, because that way he didn't take anyone else with him. Twomad had openly and privately talked about his deep hatred towards me and other witnesses. And this is when it gets a little crazy. On Christmas Eve, as you know, one does, he openly addressed how there are people he wants to kill, but are way too far. You know, that's something you definitely think about when it's Christmas Eve, right? First thing that popped into my mind when it's Christmas Eve or Christmas, you know, time to kill the haters. That day he was told that he might end up becoming fearless and reckless enough to kill someone. Twomad took even more Xanax. Despite the warning, he was administered to a hospital and was discharged that same week. Twomad has found the home addresses of several victims as well as the family addresses of one of his victims. He'll make threats about it and would send packages to the family house mentioned above. He doxed one of his victims on numerous occasions on Twitter. In addition, he wouldn't stop posting her full name, photos, work store name, and school location. So here we have even more tweets. Well, docs too. Can I get banned on YouTube for posting full name and title thumbnail? The further you go into it, the harder it gets for me or anyone to try to defend and be like, but he was joking, but it was satire. It's just the more you read into it, the worse it gets. Twomad's stalking wasn't limited to in-person stalking. Twomad made countless accounts to stalk his victims online. This dude had so much fucking free time. The Superior Justice Court explicitly ordered Twomad not to make alternative accounts to stalk his victims, which he immediately violated. Twomad has committed numerous sexual assaults, including intercourse by legal definition in California. Rape is under the category under the sexual assault offense. He was supposed to be arrested by the authorities and prosecuted by DA for several crimes, but his passing happened before they were able to do so. Twomad was under investigation for a very long time before his passing. And this is a theory that I had, and I'm like, is that the reason why he just started spamming so many tweets? So it would just take longer for the people to find what was genuine and what was just fucking around and trolling? Is that what it kind of seems like? It seems like bearing the evidence, bearing the proof, so you have more time to come up with a plan. I wonder if that was a thing just to buy time. Twomad's closest friends at the time had to physically intervene to help the victims escape after Twomad started chasing her. These are fucking crazy allegations right here. Once his friends helped the victims escape, Twomad took a photo of them standing visibly disappointed to taunt them afterwards. This photo seems like straight out of a murder scene from like a Netflix special. That is wild. But then there's a part where I'm not the biggest fan of, and that is, well, the end. Anything related to Twomad, past, present, and future, will be limited to this Google Doc, as I don't believe that my channel is the right place for this kind of stuff. I kindly ask people to respect and leave the victims alone. I don't care if your channel is not about that, but sometimes some videos need to be made to make it easier to digest, because not everyone has the time to read a 56 page Google document on a Friday night. I think a video would be much appreciated. I think it will clear a lot of confusion up. I don't care if you're a gaming channel who makes whatever type of content you make. I think if you've gone yourself this deep into the situation and this involved, at that point, a video will be much appreciated, not only for me or for the people, but for everyone involved. So you can once and for all be like, okay, you know, there's a lot of backlash, there's a lot of criticism against me. Let me make a video showing you every single piece of video proof I can possibly show you. You're like in the front lines of this whole situation. In my opinion, that would be the right move, but that's just me. What do you guys think of this situation? I think this is definitely the last Twomad video. I don't know what else to talk about here. I think this saga is finished. But if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Notifications on. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Hope this video wasn't too boring, you know, just reading. But I hope you had good snacks with you. And with that said, I'll see you next time. All right, peace out.